What's up, y'all? Coach Tom here with my boy Coda. We are coming at you on Tuesday, the 3rd of March, I believe it is. Can't believe it's already March of 2020. And if you're following up on last week's episode, you knew I'm going to give you a little recap on my week first before we get into things, and we'll talk about today's episode. But, I got a call last Monday from my mother. If you listen to the last podcast, you know that my grandfather was pretty much on his last legs of life, lived a long life, and he had a couple days to live. We received the phone call Wednesday night that about 6 o'clock, 5:36, that he had passed. I was in the shower when Kim answered the phone, and I knew when I heard her talking to my mom, I knew right away what was going on. So, just coming to grips with that. We, grew up very close to my grandfather, so the rest of the week it was really kind of, it was a challenge. So we took Saturday and Sunday to kind of unplug. Kim and I did something a little crazy, and we went out on Saturday night. Just hung out a little bit. Decided while we were out Saturday night, let's go on a little adventure tomorrow. Really, just have the day to ourselves. So we went down to Disney, took a little trip down there, and cleared the head. We got out. I think we got to the park at like 6:30 a.m. in the parking lot. There's a new ride there called Rise of the Resistance. It's a Star Wars ride. We've been dying to check it out, and it's absolute insanity. There's like a lottery at 8 a.m. to get on it. If you don't get a boarding group at 8 a.m., you're not getting in for the whole day. There's no wait. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Like, you're not getting on this ride if you don't get the lottery. So we actually, boarding groups range from 0 to like, I think 80, and then you get a backup, which even with the backup, you're not guaranteed. But my phone glitched up. Kim's phone got through. She got boarding group number 23, Michael Jordan style, and we're actually on the ride by, I think it was 8 a.m. No, about 9 a.m. on Sunday morning. So we had the whole day to ourselves. Went down to Oga's Canteen, which is another Star Wars themed, Oga's Cantina, another Star Wars themed little bar, and it was just really cool. We got the whole Star Wars experience. Then we met up with our friends Joel and Melissa, and that's kind of where we're going to lead into today's podcast. So while I was out, I received an Instagram message from one of my members, and she said her husband was looking for somebody to be in a YouTube video. Now, her husband is a professional wakeboarder. I think he was like 4-time world champion. He's got a video game made after him, Sean Murray. And she was like, he needs somebody that's never wakeboarded before. I think maybe I tried once when I was like 7 years old. It didn't go well. Maybe 10 years old. Did not go well. And I have not been on a wakeboard, a water ski, anything ever since. So I jumped on the opportunity. So this is going to be today. Today's going to be a 2-part episode. So right now it's 11:18 in the morning. We'll cut to a little break right when I'm done wrapping up the first half. And about 1 p.m., I'm heading out onto the lake with Sean, and he's going to attempt to teach Coach Tom how to wakeboard today. So one of my big goals in life is to always do something, every couple months, do something that I'm afraid of, something that is out of my wheelhouse, something that challenges me to get out of my comfort zone. If you know me, getting out of my comfort zone is a big part of what I do. So earlier this year, the first thing I did was I rode a 42,000 meter row. It took me way out of my comfort zone. And even though I'm comfortable on the rower, I'm not comfortable with that kind of distance. I'm not comfortable with, and it really, we raised a lot of money for charity doing it, and it was fantastic. And it got my heart pumping like crazy in more ways than one, physically and mentally. Just blew my mind. So I'm constantly looking for things, running half marathons and things that kind of scare me a little bit, things that I don't feel good doing. And I think we all need to do that a little more in life, is step up and step in your fear. A lot of people go through day to day, living the same exact life, doing the same exact thing, never looking for any challenges. And when they go to the grave, they leave those 2 dates on there: the day they were born, the day you pass, and there's that line in the middle. And I don't think enough of us, spend time filling that line properly. So getting out of your comfort zone is one of the biggest things I can recommend doing in life, because it's what really gets your heart pumping. So, I grew up. Now, a lot of you that do know me, are going to find this absolute crazy. But I grew up a very anxious, very nervous young kid. I had a lot of anxiety growing up, multiple anxiety attacks that in my early 20s that, I thought I was having heart attacks. I went to the hospital. I just, very anxious person, and diagnosed that I suffered from anxiety. And even further back, we look at me growing up, and I remember those round robins. I don't know what you called them, but round robins in school where everybody would read a certain couple of paragraphs in the book, and then you'd pass it on to the next person. And I'd constantly be reading ahead, like, oh my God, I'm gonna fumble it up. I know how to read. I was just terrified of reading in front of a large group of people, and I didn't like speaking in front of a large group of people. And that fear really took hold in my youth a lot, and it took control of my life. So then we look at, in any time I had to give a presentation, you can ask my mother, I was constantly sick on presentation day. I was constantly sick on show day. Anything I could do to come up with an excuse to get out of presenting in front of a large group. And I absolutely hated talking in front of groups of people. It freaked me out. I got anxiety. I started sweating. It was just not for me growing up. And we fast forward to about 4 years ago, embraced another fear, is that I quit a career that I felt comfortable in because I hated it. I felt comfortable, but I absolutely hated it. So I, jumped into the unknown. I opened the parachute, and then I started personal training one-on-one, and I got a really great opportunity. And I didn't know at the time. I had no idea about Orange Theory. I knew nothing about what Orange Theory was, anything. So I get invited out to an audition, and I do the whole audition thing. And basically, the studio owner at the time was like, "How are you in front of large groups of people?" And my heart kind of sunk a little bit, and I'm thinking, oh, so let's, so he showed me what goes on. He's like, you're going to be coaching in front of groups of either 28 or 42 people at a time. You're on a microphone the entire time. They're working out. The music's blasting. You're keeping them going. You're, educating them. You're pushing them. You're coaching them through this hour of workout. And I said, holy shit. I have to, and now I still had this fear in my 20s, and I was terrified. I was terrified at the time when he told me that. And I said, let's just go for it. Like, I'm not going back to sitting at a desk doing logistics, shipping stuff to Shanghai, filling out all sorts of forms, trying to get stuff cleared with customs. I'm not going back. I refuse to do that, and I need this opportunity. I need to at least take this risk today and see if it goes somewhere. So I did. I went through all the training, and still, I remember when I went through the week exam that was given, I was very nervous in front of the 6 other people. It was all of our first times being on a microphone like that, but I was still very, I still had that nervousness and that fear. And on the one hand, you weigh it as nervousness, but on the other hand, it's kind of invigorating. You feel like, man, this is outside of my wheelhouse. It kind of woke me up, and I felt alive again, something I hadn't felt working all those years in corporate America. So we fast forward after I passed that first time on the microphone in front of people, and he told me 28 people. I think, I could pull it back, but I think like 13 people showed up to the first class. It was like a Saturday in the afternoon. 13 people showed up, and I was terrified. And the class after that, I was terrified. And then the class after that, I was a little more terrified. And I felt alive, and I felt great doing it. And I got out there, and I kept doing it, and I'm like, man, this is actually pretty awesome. I get to talk to all these freaking people in front. So, I'm like an extroverted introvert. Like, I don't like to be put on the spot. I like to talk, but in front of large groups, it kind of freaked me out. And man, I think that freaking me out was the best thing that could have happened to me. I got like this energy from it, and I learned to, hey, let's not run away from what we're scared of. Let's go ahead and jump into it. Let's jump into that fear. So fast forward back to today, or back to Sunday, when I got the text from Carrie, thank you for thinking about me. I was like, automatically, now I also had some liquid courage that day. It was Sunday, my day off. And I said, you know what? Let's do it. Let's message her back. Let's Why? Why not? Why not? I had never been on a wakeboard before. I could do terrible. I could wipe out. I have the best teacher in the world that I'm going to meet in 90 minutes from now, and we see where it goes from there. Hopefully, I don't bust my butt too bad. I'm pretty sure I get a life vest. I'm not going to drown. Hopefully, an alligator doesn't get me. I don't. We're in Florida here, so what we're getting at is living into that fear and choosing things that scare you. And I know, like, you can look at fear, and fear comes in many aspects of life. I know, a buddy of mine, he ran his first Arnold, ran a half marathon this weekend. I know he was a little nervous, but he went out there and crushed it. And he kicked butt with plenty of our members out there, known as Flat Family, got out there and hustled. And some of you, it was your first half marathon, and I know the nerves were going, but you took those nerves and you rode with them. And that's what it's about doing in life. Making sure you don't go to the grave with regrets that you didn't try something. Don't take that to the grave with you. Don't regret not taking the chances in life. If something gets your blood pumping, if something gets you excited, get out there and do it. Get out there and attack it and see where it takes you, because you're going to feel better at the end of the day. You're going to overcome something you didn't think you could do. And you're going to push yourself. Probably the scariest thing I did in the past year, and she might get mad at me for saying this, but baby, I think probably the scariest thing was getting married to Kim. And not scary in the sense of, oh my God, I'm going to spend the rest of my life with one person. Scary because it's on me to make sure that person is now taken care of for the rest of our lives together. It's on me to make sure she's happy. And that responsibility and that fear was the best thing I ever stepped into. Stepping into that love and that lifelong connection with another human being, yes, absolutely terrifying. Like, her happiness and her life falls upon me. And damn, that day, if you can watch the video, it's online, it's on my Facebook page, but you can hear the nervousness in my voice. And by God, the best decision I ever made was marrying Kim. And that fear is what keeps me going every day. It keeps me, it keeps me hustling every day. I use that, hey, I got to make sure I take care of this woman, take care of our little family here, my little Snookums Coda. And, that's why I do things that constantly that are out of my wheelhouse. So right now, I'm about 90 minutes out. I'm heading down to Orlando Water Sport Complex, I believe it's called. They're going to strap me into a wakeboard. I know that they know my binding size. I met Sean yesterday. Real awesome dude. I'm sure most of you know the guy. You've heard of the guy. And from here, I don't know where we land. That's why this is going to be a 2-part episode. I'm going to cut to a commercial break. You'll hear some audio, little tune out right now. And then Coda and I will get back to you at some point this afternoon with the second half of this show. It's all going to be, the one part of this show. We'll fade out here, and we will see how Coach Tom makes out on the wakeboard today, and we'll talk a little bit more about stepping into your fear. I'll be right back, y'all. Couple hours. See you soon. What's up, y'all? Coach Tom and Coda back from commercial break. You'll see I'm in a little different outfit if you're watching the video right now. I got a hoodie on and a hat, which is very rare for me in the Florida weather. We'll get to that in a little bit, but just want to tell you about the awesome experience and facing a little bit of fear today. Like I said, I was a little nervous getting out of the water. Not the best. Never been the best swimmer. Never been, was never good at skateboarding, snowboarding, so I didn't think wakeboarding would be any different, but we got out there, and what an incredible, absolutely amazing experience. I'm so glad that just took the shot and got out there, because I had so much fun. We were out there. I got out there at 1, just laid, enjoyed the sun, hung out for a little bit, and then right about 2 o'clock on the dot, Sean was ready to go and took me out on the water, gave me some pointers right off the bat, and just incredible experience. Thank you so much, Sean Murray, for setting it up, Carrie for really taking care of that, and thinking of me for getting out there with Sean today. I really appreciate you guys. I appreciate both of your time. I had an absolute blast. I'm so glad. This is what I'm talking about when we opened up the podcast earlier, is about stepping into things that make you uncomfortable and things you're afraid of. And even though I was not the most graceful, and I definitely had more struggles than success. I had a lot of fun, and I want to get out there and do it again. I want to keep trying, and I want to get it down. Like, I want to get better at it. And I discovered something today that something new about myself, that I actually really do enjoy being out on the water. Now, back to the hoodie. It was probably, I think they said it was like 60 degrees in the water. So we went for about probably 2 hours. We took a little break in between to warm up and got back in. But it was absolutely freezing, and I think the guys, thanks to Sean's crew, man the boat and video crew, thank you guys, it was awesome. But I think they knew I was freezing my stones off. I was out there in that water, it was frigid. I'm not used to being out there. I'm a Florida boy now, been down here for probably 6 years, and that cold weather is not what I am made for. But we got out there, I bucked up, buttoned on, locked up the life vest, and got in that water. And talk about an amazing teacher. When you've never done something before, it can be completely nerve-wracking, and having a proper coach is absolutely game-changing. So not only did I have a proper coach, I had the best wakeboarder in the world out there teaching me. I couldn't be more thankful for having that experience and for Sean's time. It was absolutely incredible. And even though I was not, even though I only rode for a couple seconds at a time here and there, I felt like if I had just strapped on the wakeboard on my own and went out with some friends, I would have never made it as far as I did. I would have kept wiping. And I mean, I did keep wiping out. I wiped out probably 20 times and got up twice for about 10-15 seconds apiece. And that 10-15 seconds felt like a lifetime and was awesome. So having that proper coach there, educating you, walking you through something that, for a lot of people, myself included, was very nerve-wracking. And it was just absolutely phenomenal. So I'm just so, like I said it 5 times already, I'm just incredibly grateful. I mean, if you're watching the video, you can see it on my face how much fun I had today. It was an absolute blast, and this is not something I would have normally gone and done otherwise. So as we open up the podcast, we talk about things that I've done in my life and things that, have shaped me up. I never like to speak in public. I'm now a coach at Orange there and work with up to 42 people at a time. I, again, don't like to speak in public, but I sit and record a weekly podcast. And I try to do that every day because that's my uncomfortable zone. So a lot of people talk about comfort zone. I like to think more about uncomfortable zones. What gets you out of your wheelhouse? What gets your blood flowing? And today I really felt that blood flowing. I felt that excitement. I felt this zest for life. Like, I just want to get out there and try it again and do it again and get a little further. And hopefully in a little warmer weather, Florida, you're a moody woman, moody person right now. Say temperatures are going from frigid up to scorching hot. So I don't know when I'll get that out there next, but I can't wait. And these experiences that really freak you out, and those are the ones that get your blood going, get you excited about life, keep you pushing for more, and keep you in the game looking to, keep improving, keep getting better. So I'll make the second half of the show is really quick, and I just wanted to recap, man. I wiped out so many times, and it makes me think back. I mean, so hopefully I don't sound a little weird right now. I got a ton of water in my ear. I probably took a ton in there and a ton through the mouth, and hopefully you can hear me all right. But, getting out of that wheelhouse and getting uncomfortable really keeps you in the game. When I started working out, I remember how uncomfortable it was. We're always going to relate this back to fitness on Sanctum podcast. I remember how uncomfortable things were, and I didn't know what I was doing. And I'd watch people that knew what they were doing, and I'd try to learn from them, but I never hired a coach. And I think early on that was one of my biggest mistakes, is that I didn't work with a professional. And working with Sean today really showed me the value in working with the right person. I mean, in anything you do, if you're getting into a fitness routine, get a coach. I spent the first 4 or 5 years just trying to learn from everybody out there and just watching what they did and trying to create it myself. But had I had a little one-on-one with somebody or in a group setting, I think I would have gotten there a heck of a lot quicker. I think I would have been found more success early on, and I really would have been that much further along the way. And I'll use that experience of me not doing that to try to help people and advise them along their journey. So just taking all those experiences in, and I mean, that's my reflection for the day is make sure you're working with, don't try to learn things on your own. Make sure you're learning from the best out there in fitness, in life, in wakeboarding. What just an awesome day it was today. I'm still freezing. It's 5 o'clock now. We got out of the water somewhere around, I think it was like 4. We got out of the water, and my bones, down to my bones, I am still cold, and I have no regrets at all. I just had such a blast. They invited me out to come out on their boat one day and bring the wife and come check it out, and I'm counting down the days to warmer weather so we can get out there, and hopefully I get a little further and get a little standing up position and not wipe out as much. But I'm trying to think of the next thing I want to do that's going to get me out of my wheelhouse. I have such a rush of adrenaline right now. Like, I'd love to get out there, go like skydiving or something, do something else that really makes me uncomfortable, because I feel just that zest for life again. And I mean, it comes and it goes, and you're gonna, you start going through the motions, start doing things that freak you out, start doing things that get you excited every day, and that's what's gonna really keep you pushing on and pushing further in life. So I want to leave you with one thing. I had to pull out my phone to pull it up. It's a little hashtag pass the handle. Pass the handle. That's what we did today. Sean passed the handle on to me, taught me the ropes, passed me the handle, and taught me how to wakeboard a little bit today. So what I'm going to ask you all today, if you're listening to this podcast, pass the handle. Now, it's a little different in fitness, but when I say it, I mean share this podcast. Share my love of fitness, share your love of fitness, stay motivated, help other people stay in the game, help other people get out of their comfort zones and do things that are a little bit scary. Hopefully, I can help one of you take a little risk today and get out there and do something that scares you. Be good, guys. Coda and I love you. We're going to take a shower because we're in that water. Well, I'm going to take a shower and get some of that water off me, and hopefully it's a nice steaming hot shower because, like I said, my bones are still chilly. Thank you so much again, Sean. Thank you so much again, Carrie. Incredible day, incredible experience. I have a different look on my face than I did before I left, and I'm so appreciative just for the energy that you guys gave to me today. Thank you so much. Pass the handle, Sweat Sanctum. Love you guys. Keep listening, keep sharing this podcast, and be good at life.